Welcome to eWalk, the flexible program that lets you collect data, analyze it, and report on it. eWalk is flexible, and there are a multitude of things that you can do with it. Conversations with colleagues is critical to establishing an environment that supports long-term school and classroom improvement. As teachers engage in an interchange of ideas, they begin to examine their own practice and assumptions about teaching. They deepen their collective understanding, and they develop support systems that encourage continued inquiry. eWalk helps encourage dialogue and supports collaborative work. Over time, the result can be a consistent set of activities and resources focused on the task of improving teaching and learning. eWalk allows you to collect data from what you observe. You then use the data and compare it to previous collected data or data from other sources. Then you decide what the data tells you. After having discussions about it, you can then act to solve the problems that you have observed. By monitoring, you can ensure that the actions that you take actually implement change. eWalk gives you access to shared templates, or you can author your own templates yourself or in collaboration with others. When you observe, you know exactly what you're looking for, and you know exactly how to record it. eWalk has an authoring system that provides for numerous components that we call elements and checklists. We have drop lists, rubrics, numeric and text entry, counters and timers, notes for making anecdotal comments. If you have an Apple mobile device with a built-in camera, you can also attach photos to the components. eWalk may be web-based, but you don't have to be connected to the web to collect the data. Here are some examples of using a handheld, and you see the use of checklists, drop lists, rubrics, counters, and timers. Once you've collected your data, you can upload it to your web account where it is aggregated and made available in a multitude of reports and graphs. Once you've got your data, you can compare it to data previously collected or data from other sources. Once you've collected your data, you can look at your reports and now have the opportunity to have conversations and discussions that matter. One of the main features of eWalk are the kinds of graphs and reports that you get. You don't have to be connected to the web to collect data. With eWalk, we let you build the collecting instrument that we call a template. With this, you can download to almost any mobile device. You can then collect the data online or offline with a portable device and then upload to your web account when convenient to do so. The data is then aggregated, analyzed, and made available for a multiple number of reports and graphs. eWalk has an authoring system that provides a myriad of components we call elements and checklists. We have checkboxes, manual number input, drop-down lists, drop-down lists with rubrics. So you make the drop-down list and then you can attach a rubric to each of the items. Timers and counters, and there are several. Drop-down list with checklists, so each of the drop-downs has got its own unique checklist. And then you assemble the template. If you have an iPod Touch, iPhone, or iPad with a camera, you can even take pictures and attach them to the elements that you put in your templates. So here we are assembling a template. And once you've put the elements you want into the various pages of your template, you are ready to use it. When using a handheld or mobile device, you can download your templates and your staff lists and even student lists at will. We provide free applications that run on the iPad, the iPod Touch, the iPhone, the BlackBerry, the Android, Windows Mobile, Palm OS, and laptops, netbooks, whether they use Windows, Mac OS, or Linux. Once you have your device loaded with your data and your templates, you can then proceed to collect data. You can collect dates. You can collect time. You can count things. You can time things. You can track where a teacher engages students, or where they walk in the room, or where they make eye contact. You can have rubrics 4 at a time that you can time or count. And you can track what happens first when a teacher poses a question. Here's an example of a drop list, and if you pick conducive learning, there is no checklist, but if you pick somewhat conducive to learning, then up comes the appropriate checklist for that. If you've set your system up to work with an iPad or iPhone, then you can even take a picture and have that attached to the particular element that the picture pertains to. We also have something that we call people lists. You can create a group of people and select people by gender or by homeroom or by class. And then when you create a walkthrough with a group of those people, they are available to collect data. You can collect numeric data, set a default value so with one click they all get the same value, and then edit those who need to be changed. You can make drop lists, again using a default value. You can also enter a set of criteria for one individual. Once you're done, you upload to the web when it's convenient to do so. When the data is on the web, there are a multitude of reports and graphs that you can use to analyze and interpret the data that you've collected. And with the iPad, you can also view these same graphs and reports. The iPad also has a dashboard, and when you go into the classroom, you'll be able to see the aggregated data of all that has been collected for the templates you want to look at. And if you click on any one of those graphs, you will see the raw data and any notes made about that particular element. Data can be disaggregated, and so you could say, I'd only want to see the data for grades 1 and 2 mathematics. You can pick one or more schools at the district level, and you can get data on any individual teacher. Lastly, you can compare the data of a teacher to another teacher, to the whole school, or to the whole district. We have a book available, The Essential Guide to Walkthroughs Using eWalk, and that can be downloaded and provides a guide and complete instructions for using eWalk to build any kind of template imaginable. Here are some examples. There's part of the table of contents. And lastly, one of our partners, James Garver, has written an excellent book called Coaching for Achievement, and this also is available. Both The Essential Guide to Walkthroughs and Coaching for Achievement are available as iBooks for the iPad, iPod Touch, and iPhone, and as ebooks for the Kindle.